forward to these prices.
Vice Chair Davis, I'm Vice Chair, I'm sorry.
I got demoted.
I totally demoted you. I'm so sorry. Vice Chair Taylor.
Here.
Chair Davis.
I'm present.
Commissioner Howard.
Present.
Commissioner Prickett.
Here.
Commissioner Bemis.
Here.
Commissioner Gibson.
Here.
Okay, let's do our Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Oh, we missed this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, do we have any additions or corrections to our meeting tonight? I'm hearing none. Does anyone have a conflict of interest on any agenda item tonight?
No. No.
Okay, we should move on to the consent calendar, which consists of the approval of minutes from April the 4th, 2022, the approval of written recommendation for PZE-22-0016, which was the Daniels Zone Map Amendment, and also the approval of written recommendation for Code Text Amendment 11-1-7E. Is there a motion or any need for discussion?
I motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent calendar as brief. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those who are in favor indicate so.
Aye.
Yes?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I'm hearing none. So we should move on to our public hearing. We have a proposed code text amendment to mixed-use zone designations, Title 11-2-4, Special Conditions, and Title 11-2-8, Applicability. And while City is setting up for that, for our commissioners tonight, thank you, City. We now have proposed motion wording that we can pass around. So if anybody wants to make a motion later and they want a little recollection, just please ask for it, and I will gladly, quietly pass it left or right. I don't need it.
I think I just left here. Good evening. Tonight we're looking at a public hearing of a zone code text amendment for Title 11, Chapter 2. As you're aware, we adopted in April 2021 ordinance number 619, and that introduced a new zone designation to the city called mixed use. In October of 2021, we adopted ordinance number 624, and that adopted some additional design standards as it relates to how we wanted the mixed use zone, the development within that zone to develop. So concern has been raised due to the ramifications of either a build or no build condition of the Hutter Road construction, and those impacts that could be possible for future mixed use development. Several workshops and public meetings have been held with City Council and the Planning and Zoning Commission. And so as a result of those, okay, I'm ignoring. As a result of those, we worked together in our last workshop to develop some guiding language, some code text to help kind of address the concern raised from the location of possible mixed use. So mixed use design standards shall apply to properties within two subcategories. The first subcategory would be along Government Way, Highway 95, Hayden Avenue, and Prairie Avenue. And the second designation would be those parcels which are contiguous with the proposed Hutter corridor as determined by the future land use map and not by the current zone. So what does that mean when we're looking at a map? What we tried to do is encapsulate all of those properties that were contiguous to the purple So if you were in this purple area, then you were contiguous to the Hutter corridor. The same down here, if you were in this purple area, contiguous with Hutter, that would be part of the MU2, and down both sides. But if you were in this piece here, it's not contiguous to purple or the purple adjacent to Hutter, and therefore would not be an MU2, but would be an MU1. So residential uses shall not be allowed in the MU2 zone until such time as the Hutter corridor is guaranteed to be constructed, unless one of two things happen. The first one is that it's expressly allowed in a zoning development agreement. So again, the only way that you're going to get any of this purple on your property is if you annex in and you establish the zone at the time of annexation. So you could have an annexation agreement or a zoning development agreement at that point in time. Or if you request a zone map amendment, and that could also facilitate a zoning development agreement. And then the second way is as part of an approved plan unit development. And plan unit developments are kind of inherently an overlay district that lays over the top and kind of facilitates how you're going to develop that piece of property. And that would require the zone map amendment as well. So it kind of would work together. Or when the Hutter corridor is guaranteed to be constructed, then any use containing those multifamily dwelling units within the MU2 zone shall require a conditional use permit. And again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier tonight in our workshop a little bit, and the fact that mixed use zone is new. It's new to this city. We all kind of envision how we want it to be developed, what we want it to look like, and how we want it to apply. And so the conditional use permit affords us the ability to bring it to planning and zoning. And as we talked about also earlier, and Wanda can probably pitch in as well if she wants to, is that the Local Land Use Planning Act requires that one public hearing. In our case, it goes to planning and zoning, but if staff believes that it should facilitate going to city council as well, we can request that it do that. So we want to make sure that everybody is on the same page and has the same level of expectations with this new zone and how it's developing. And then what if the Hutter alignment changes? Because it seems to be just a little bit fluid right now. And so should the location as depicted on the future land use map change, then the boundaries of the mixed use 2 zone on the future land use map may shift accordingly. So they're not fixed, but we recognize that that mixed use zone on the future land use map is to buffer the Hutter corridor. So the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the verbiage, the exact verbiage is in your staff reviews, in your attachments. The Planning and Zoning Commission may recommend approval with modifications, or denial of the proposed amendments to Hayden City Code. That's all I have.
Do you have any questions for Donna?
No.
Okay, so in this case, we're going to have potentially public comment. So I guess to the commission, has anyone had any ex parte communication with the general public regarding this?
No.
Okay, I'm hearing not. Anyone who wants to offer comments regarding this case can submit a completed form located on the table by the entrance doors. Forms must have name, address, date, and whether you want to testify in support of, or opposed to, or neutral. Anyone planning to do so, to speak, must do so at the podium so your remarks can be heard in the recording system. All questions and comments will be directed to the commission, not the city. And the city, I assume, would have the opportunity to answer questions and offer rebuttal after any public testimony is completed. All speakers will need to state their name and address for the record before they begin speaking. I will call first those supporting the application, then those uncommitted, and finally those opposed to the application. Do we have anyone who has submitted a comment? No. Does anyone in the audience wish to comment on what the city is asking us to consider tonight? Okay, please let the record reflect that the answer is no to that. So then we don't have a need for rebuttal. Commissioners, do we have any further questions?
No.
No.
Okay. Fonda, I assume it's safe to close the hearing?
Correct.
All right, the hearing is now closed, so no more questions or comments will be allowed from the public. To our commission, do we wish to proceed or schedule deliberations for another day? Proceed, very good. All right, we'll just go right to left. Thoughts? This was the workshop we did with the line of death and all that, just to refresh everybody's memory, and I'm being tongue-in-cheek there a little bit. It was a term that I used for differentiating MU1 and MU2, so there's no death, I promise. In fact, I think it's called Donna's line of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can say you recommend approval. That would be. I don't want to go first.
You don't want to go first? All right, Ben.
Yeah, I recommend approval.
You recommend approval?
Yeah.
John?
Yeah, I recommend approval.
Ben?
I recommend approval. We've gone through this so many times.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, we can entertain a motion, and then a cheat sheet's floating around here somewhere.
Or Sean.
No.
I know, I like that. Just sign you up.
Come on, we've got tools here.
In the matter of PZE.
Well, it should be,
There isn't really one.
there isn't a PZ.
Oh, no.
It'd be the proposed amendments
Title
to.
11.
So in the matter of the approval of the written recommendations for Code Text Amendment 11-1-7E, I recommend approval.
This one.
Do that right?
We'll try again.
-2-4.
Okay. I recommend approval of the proposed amendments to Hayden City Code 11-2-4 Special Conditions and Hayden City Code 11-2-8 Applicability. It's hard to say.
That's all good. All right.
I'll second.
I believe that's a reasonable, all right, very good. And we've got a second. Shall we take a vote, please?
Commissioner Bemis,
Yes.
Commissioner Gibson,
Yes.
Commissioner Howard,
Yes.
Commissioner Prickett,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Chair Davis.
Yes. How about that?
Just kind of go at random.
Okay, do we have any reports for the city?
No.
Just a sec.
Workshop's great.
Keep us on our toes.
Well, they certainly mean we can get out of here by 6 tonight.
If he's gonna stick with the right to left, we're switching places with you.
As far as agendas go, we don't have anything for your first meeting in May. So we're proposing to cancel the first meeting in May. The second meeting in May, we do have a couple of public hearings that'll be coming your way. Other than that, we had a workshop before this. And
The date of the
Talk with
second meeting in
council.
May is,
like the,
16th?
yeah, I was gonna say that,
Thank
18th,
you.
16th. What is that? What's going on?
We're all synchronizing swatches up here. How's that for showing my age?
May 16th.
Zach
May
says, "What's a swatch?"
16th.
Sean has an impact fee committee meeting on
Wednesday.
Thursday. It's on Thursday.
Oh, no, it's Thursday. It is
It's on
Thursday.
Thursday.
What time on Thursday?
Okay, it's Thursday. 2.
This says Wednesday. No,
I know,
that's it
it's
wrong.
Thursday.
It's Thursday, the 21st.
Yeah.
So we'll have an update, he'll have an update to the Planning and Zoning Commission at the next meeting as a result of that. Getting really close to the finishing up the impact fee study, I believe, so those will go to public hearing with City Council. Impact fees don't go to public hearing with Planning and Zoning, so just as a matter of interest. Other than that, I think we're good so far. A lot of work we've been doing.
Can you
Yes,
say
sir.
it again? May 2nd, we are not doing.
Yep, if you don't have any public hearings, then I don't have a reason for another workshop at the moment.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Anything else we need to chat about tonight? Did everybody get their nickels worth?
I apologize. I wasn't at the,
It's all good. We're adjourned.
Wow. Wow, that's the shortest one. Yeah.
You just about
Thank you,
beat the
everybody, for
fire